Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Kay here and I've got a little share for you today and a little bit of not a tutorial exactly, because you know what I'm sharing today is very much personal taste, but it is an indication of how I personally would make what I'm going to share with you. So call it a craft along, call it a process, it is what it is. Nothing new whatsoever. I am again using Artymaze papers, and it's her recent kit that she put forward, which helps you make collage and snippets and that kind of thing. I will put a name in the description box below. I didn't write it down, so I'm a bit at a loss as to remembering the name. However, this is what I'd like to share today. And these are postcards. Now you'll see that I've coated them, and it is just an ordinary decoupage varnish affair, just to protect all the layers and the images that are on the postcard. I then used a Tim Holtz stamp on the back just to put that postcard thing right in its place, and that's another one here. And it really is just cutting out all these lovely little bits and pieces, the bird, the butterfly, all the little bits that have come here to make up the image. I've used a napkin to form the background of the postcard. Here's another one. I've tried if there's red in something to accommodate that colour and marry it up within the collage effect, because I think it then gives it a bit of cohesion and lets you see that it's all meant to be, even though it's a very varied amount of imagery there. You can sit for a little while and still pick up different and new things. I've used a postage stamp here from the USA, another little snippet here from something else, but in the main the images that I've cut out and used are from the kit. Even the words come within this little kit. So that is all of them in all their loveliness. It is a very vintagey style. That seems to be what I am most comfortable with. I've not used any material, no laces, no cheesecloth, nothing at all. I've kept it quite simple because I would like to be able to physically send these out in the post at some point to individuals and have them keep it as a memory of this year, perhaps. I don't know, it's one of those little thought things that I've got going on. However, on my desk here I have the original postcard that I bought, and you'll see it's very flimsy. So to strengthen that, what I do is back them with card, and this card is actually 260 GSM, so it really does give it a great feel in your hand. It's very strong and it's not going anywhere. So the postcard, sorry I'm flitting around, is roughly speaking 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. I have rounded edges because I personally like that look. Now I've just taken a napkin, which I did earlier because otherwise it would be a very long video. This is 1/4 of the napkin as it's left, peeled off the layers as you can see, and then you are left with this really quite transparent bit of tissue. Put down wet glue because I'm happier with that, but you use whatever glue you are personally happy with, and then place it onto the postcard in such a way as you are comfortable with it. And you'll see that this is a little bit off kilter. It's not straight by any means, but I'm not concerned about that because by the time I add the little images and so on to it, it really won't make much of a muchness. I have got my decoupage varnish here. I think it might have been from the works, and I store it in a jam jar purely and simply because in the original jar, which is not glass, they do tend to get a little bit sticky and very difficult to open, and my hands these days just won't let me do it. So here we go. I'll take the lid off that. I've also got a soft brush, and I use that to apply the napkin to the postcard base, and then just let it dry naturally, which is why I did this earlier. I have then got a whole load of images that I've cut out from the kit, and they are numerous beautiful images, bingos, little leaflets like this that look like invoices, adverts for businesses, some flowers here. There is a huge array of different things that you can mat and layer. These little tea cards, which I find absolutely glorious. There are butterflies, there are birds. Because I used birds and butterflies on the other postcards, I'm hoping to do something a little bit different this time, but still using the kit. But these are the butterflies in all their glory. The birds, they come in 2 sizes. You may not want to use the larger size. It depends on the size of the snippet that you want to put together. More butterflies and more of the little tea cards. And I think in all there are 10 sheets in the kit. There are also some numbers. I've cut out most of them, but it comes out looking like that. So I will just, and it is down to personal choice, I will just add things to the postcard. I've already done a little bit of inking around with vintage photo. I may well ink around some of the images if I've not cut them out very well. But this is how I would set out. I would do all my cutting out first, whilst the base that I'm using, and it can be any background that you like. It might be another sheet from another kit that you just want to enhance and make look pretty, but I've stuck with things that don't require a whole lot of planning, if you like, colourways, because I just wanted to be able to bring this to you quite easily. So already I've spotted this, and again it's that vintage feel that I go for every time. I don't know why, it's just something that I'm comfortable with. I will ink around the edge because I do want this to look as though it's been popped down on the base like so. I'll use my Yoo-hoo if I can get enough out of it. I'm getting a bit low, so I might have to resort to the decoupage varnish. I don't know that I'm going to get a whole lot out of this. No, I think it's dead and gone. So we'll just use this, and it really doesn't matter. Just apply whatever adhesive you're going to use in the area that you're planning to work in. If you've not caught corners and so on, then it's very simple when you've got it in position just to place it like this. Lift up the little bits that don't feel or look as though they're properly anchored onto the surface, and then smooth it down. The main thing is to have a gentle hand. You don't want to be, even though it's all relatively fixed and glued down, you don't want to disrupt things too much. So I quite like that one. I also like this little tea card here. It is a little bit on the white side, but again I'm just going to pop this down, and I'm just going to place it wherever I feel it's going to look comfortable. It is not a science. You don't have to fret about where it's going or what it's leading to, as long as you have got the cutouts that you want to apply to your little decoration in front of you, then it's easy just to pick up something and run with it. I've got a number here that I rather like the look of, so I shall place that down here like so. And again, any areas that I feel are a little bit on the glary side because they're too white or because they're too stark, if you like, that's another good word to use, then I would just add a little bit more of the ink, albeit lightly, to blend those colours in and to bring them into where I want them. Now, having gone for the bird's nest, I think I may well just pop this lovely, oh my, what they're called, woodpecker. Is it a woodpecker or a kingfisher? Kingfisher. Oh dear. Right, now that one is colourful, so I'm going to have to be mindful of that and think about then whether I add the flowers, if I have flowers that will suit some of the colours in there. And I think I would just put that one there, but you can see how it comes together, and it really is just about something that you would have done at school for sure, and that's just putting pictures together from a magazine or what have you and making a little vision, if you like, of prettiness, including things that, you know, just marry up together. What's this one? Pickwick collar. So I could, I don't want the whole, it looks a bit, might be a bit better up there if I can. I don't want to show all of it because it's quite a strong colour. So I think what I'll do is pop it down here. Again, just wherever it lands. The glory of this is that to make it work, you don't have to worry too much, as long as there is nothing glaring about it, like perhaps if you put a cake down and then put down a camel or something like that, something that at odds with one another, as long as there is a little bit of movement and sameness within it, I think you can get away with quite a lot. I had hoped to use this rose, but I think again it's not quite in keeping with what's going on. What else have I got? I've also got here another little ticket which I need to put up there because I think it's a little bit on the dull side there. So I'll do that. You might say, oh well, she's concentrating on that one little corner, what about the rest of it? But this is quite what I like to do, because it then leaves you one area where you could, if you wanted to, put something significant, maybe a die cut of a twig or flowers or something of that nature that would all work in together. Now I thought I'd cut out butterflies. I'm all of a doodah here. I did try and get everything organised and together, but you know, best laid plans and all that. And I can't find the butterflies, so I might just have to fussy cut one out, which is a real pain. How odd. And then it's thinking about, I want quite a sizable butterfly here and one that is going to be in keeping, but I think that's too big for the sheet. Here's a little one. This will do quite nicely, and I'll just cut it out really, really quickly. I've got these, oh gosh, I've had these for years, decoupage scissors, because that's where my real crafty paper craft stuff started, way back in the day, probably when decoupage first became a thing and the crafts shops started opening. So my gosh, must have been 28, oh I don't know, I really don't know. I know I was working at the time and all that kind of thing, so it's going back quite a way, because I've been retired now for several years through health issues, as we all have at some point in our lives. But you know, it is what it is, and when you have something like this to fill your time, it's not nearly as difficult to get through each day, because you can just, there we go, you can just fill it with this kind of thing. I will put a little bit of ink around there like so. Again, nothing too much. It's all about keeping it, I think I'll put it here, and then that just lets the eye roam from the butterfly to the bird and back and forward like that. Now if I had a stamp that was in keeping, I would put that there, but I don't, so I think I might have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery. Cloth stretcher, no I don't think so. Oh, we haven't got a name, a little label on this either. So I think because that is such a big space there, I am going to use the wordage here, which is field notes. And I think that works quite nicely, because we've got the bird nest, we've got the bird, we've got seeds and gardening and that kind of thing, and it all just then marries it up quite nicely and gives you something nice to look at. And again, it's not about filling every inch of the paper, or the base I should say, field notes. It's about making a collage that is pretty and worth sending out to make someone smile. That's what I always think. And it is, you can't teach someone how to put something like this together. It has to be what pleases you and what works for you. And the glory about being in the craft arena is that we all see things in very different ways. If we each of us sat with what I've just put on this card today and put it all together, not one of us would come out with anything identical except perhaps the background. And that's the glory of the eye. Now all I'm going to do here to finish up is run the decoupage varnish all over the card here, the postcard, and that will then anchor down any loose edges, anything that is really damp at the moment because of the glue and that kind of thing. By the time it dries will have settled down considerably, so please don't be concerned if you're sat there thinking, oh, I've got a wrinkle here and a wrinkle there. It really is not the greatest of importance at this point, and once it is dry, if you weight it down, it will settle and change shape again. Now if I wanted to, and I may yet, but I haven't got the right thing here with me, I may well put a little flower or something, floral tribute, down in this far corner here, just to marry up the last little bits and pieces. But it's going to take a little while for this to dry, and I don't want to hold you up any more than is absolutely necessary. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing aspects of Artymaze's new kit, and I hope it inspires you to give it a try. All I'll do once this is dry is put the same stamp on the back, postcard, and then I will think about getting them out and through the post so that they're franked with the date and so on, and that will please me greatly, and hopefully someone will be happy to have it land on their doormat. So thank you very much for sharing this time with me. As always, it's a pleasure to share and to hopefully help with any crafty things that you would like to do for yourselves. Take care, everyone, and I'll just bring these back in so you can see them, hopefully widen out. Excuse my desk. Happy crafting, everyone, and stay well. Bye bye for now.